Hi guys, and welcome to another simple CSS video. This is Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. In this video we're going to add some transition duration CSS. Now transition duration CSS is used for setting the time that it takes for an actual effect to happen. So in the last video we just did some simple hover CSS with our little boxes here. Now this is happening instantly. So if we add a bit of transition duration CSS to them, we can dictate how long it's going to take to actually have this effect happen, and you can get some really good looking effects on your site doing this. So for those of you that have been following along, if you need to, you can download this simple website template from a link below this video if you want to use it for practicing with. We're also using a text editor called Brackets, which is a free text editor, and it's great, and you can download it from a link below this video also. So if you have downloaded the website and unzip the file, this is what you're going to get. And here's our index file, the index HTML file that we'll be working on. And here's our CSS folder. Inside there is the simple CSS cascading style sheet that we created, and it's the one that we'll be working on. So let's open our Brackets text editor and start editing our site. Here's our simple CSS style sheet. And here's our index HTML that we've got open here. We're working on our boxes on our site at the moment, 3 little boxes we've got going there. And that's in our second section. And the good thing about Brackets, you click on an opening div and it will show you the closing div. So if you need to copy and paste something, it makes it really easy to see where you've got to do it. And these are what we're going to add our CSS to today. If we go back to the site, here are those little boxes, and here's that CSS we put in last time, our hover CSS. Let's go back. There's our hover CSS that we put in last time. That makes it change to the blue and makes it circular, because we've got that border radius of 50% that makes it circular, and we put a border around the outside of it. Now what we want to do is we want to change the timing, and all we really need to do here is add another little attribute called transition duration. It's even prompted me there. And let's give it 2 seconds just for effect. And we're going to need to add some cross-browser compatibility with this particular attribute here, which I'll do in a minute. But let's just save this. Go back to our site. Now that I've put that in there, in the box element, it should take 2 seconds once we hover over to achieve this effect. Okay, I'll just refresh the site once I saved my CSS just now. And as you can see, that's no longer instant. That's taking 2 seconds to do that. And the good thing about it, it's using ease in and ease out. I won't go over that in this particular video, but it's once you let go of it, it's taking 2 seconds to let go as well, which is fine. Let's just add another little effect to make it stand out a little bit more. Obviously 2 seconds is probably a little long, but this is purely for demonstration. Let's go back to our CSS, and let's say when it hover, let's give it a margin. Let's make it jump up some. So we'll say margin top. And we'll say, let's make it jump up 50 pixels. So I'll say minus 50 pixels. And if you watched our CSS margins video, you'll know what this is going to do. And let's change that to say 1 second. Okay, let's do a quick save, Control save, and refresh our browser. Now what do you think that's going to do? Well, it's going to take 1 second to do the transition, and it should jump up by 50 pixels. There we go. And you can have a lot of fun with this. You can apply this to any element you want or any button you want to apply it to. And you can get some really nice effects. And you don't have to do it by whole seconds. You can do it by milliseconds. So, 500 milliseconds would be half a second. So I'll say 0.5 seconds. And now it should do it half a second. And of course a quarter second would be 0.25, and you can do it 0.1, 0.2, however you want to do it. There you go. That's just using some simple transition duration CSS. Okay, what I was saying just now, let's put this back to 1 second. What I was saying just now was you need to add cross-browser compatibility, because this is CSS3 we're using here. And this will not work. I think it's on Internet Explorer 9 and earlier, which are pretty much outdated nowadays. But if somebody is using that, this particular effect's not going to work. And you have to put in a couple of things to make it work in Safari. And to make it compatible with Safari, we're going to add WebKit. Dash. Then we just add our transition duration after it. And to make it compatible with Firefox, you have to do Moz dash that. And there's a few others like Opera and stuff like that. You can do I think it's just O for Opera, but those are the main ones to make it compatible with the most popular browsers. I think it's just O for Opera. And that should be compatible with all of our main ones. Let's save that and go back to our site. Should be back to a second again now. And do a quick refresh. Yeah, that's on 0.1 second. I think that's a little quick. Let's change it back to a second. And there we go. We've got a nice little 1 second transition effect on our site here. So there you have it. There's another simple little CSS demonstration for you. Transition duration. If you add it to your hover effects, it can make some wonderful effects for your site. I hope you've enjoyed this. If it's been useful to you, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you're interested in web design, take one of our courses below. We've got some fantastic discounts for our YouTube subscribers, as well as some great free courses down there. So once again, this has been Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.